Hello again and welcome to Wild Angle episode 3. I gotta say, thanks for all the amazing support last week. It's really appreciated to read all the nice comments that you give us. I really hope it helped you get some garden bird pictures, and please send us the results. Now this week, we thought we'd build on that by looking at our local patch within 5 to 10 minutes walk of here. Of course, we're all being safe and we're all being isolated at home, which is great and it's the right thing to do. But where we live, we're very isolated, we're very lucky, and we can walk out here and see nobody. And we have found one of my top species in the UK, my favourite species. I've done a book on them. I absolutely love them and I couldn't believe we found them so close. So we made a really cool little film in it. I think you're going to really enjoy it. Each time we were out for an hour as well, so we did it exactly as we should be doing. I think you're going to love it, and I'll be back afterwards with a big smile on my face. So watch this and enjoy.
All right. Here we are on our local patch, and I have to tell you, it's not quite our local patch, because a couple of months ago we were flooded out in our normal house and we've come to stay on a friend's farm in a rented barn on the other side of the farm from everyone else, so we're isolated, which is great. Now we know where the swans are and we know where the warblers are and stuff, because we've walked around here many times with them. But this barn behind us, we've never really paid a second glance to, because I checked it a couple of years ago and there was nothing in it and no evidence inside. Other day we went in just to look at some perches in the wood pile there, and lo and behold, there's a little owl staring at me out of the roof. Beat a very hasty retreat and got out, went and got the binoculars, and for the past few days we've been watching them from afar and lurking and learning their habits. And there are two gables and at either end are beautiful holes that they come out of. In fact, they like to sit and sunbathe a bit, certainly last thing at night and first thing in the morning, and it's certainly been the weather for it. So what follows is a story of what we've done since in the past couple of days to get some amazing pictures. So here you go. Okay, it's sunset and behind me you can see the gable with a hole in it, and it's fantastic. Okay, at the other end, just over there, there's a barn, and I've been sitting in that barn with my camouflage cape on, which is hilarious to walk in, I tell you, photographing them in the evening. It's been really magical and beautiful, and here's a few pictures that I shot. Wow, well, weren't those pictures cool? And I tell you, I'd be happy with those normally if I hadn't have seen the other end of the barn that way. Oh my God, it's absolutely spectacular. I haven't photographed it yet. We know they come out of there because we've watched. And I haven't really had a perfect sunrise. Tomorrow is forecast to be a perfect sunrise, which means red light, which you know I absolutely love. Now, normally I'd use the Land Rover, but I can't use the Land Rover to get in there because there's fresh crops, and I don't want to use the Land Rover at all. I want to walk here. So I'm going to use the cape and put the cape over myself and try to get there early before they come out, sit there in the middle of the field and wait. It's hilarious walking with the cape. You just fall over. It's like a wedding dress. You have to lift it up. So I'm going to go and get a good night's sleep now, get up early in the morning, and hopefully, you never know, fingers crossed, you might get to see some more little owls. All right, I'm all ready to go. It's a beautiful morning. The sun is coming up through a layer of mist. It's freezing cold. I've got my 600 and I've got it on the tripod, and I've got the tripod height already set for when I'm sitting down. You don't want to be doing that and fiddling around out there where you can have eyes on you. And this is the most essential bit, which is the bag hide. I've got the cap on because it takes the bag hide away from the front of my face and they can't see my ugly mug. So here we go. And then we're going to find the slot where the lens goes through, which is there. Lift it all up, and that's it. I'm ready, so wish me luck and I'll see you later.
Quick update from the bag hide. I managed to get across the field without falling over, which is good. I've got all my bits inside. You can't have your feet sticking outside. Good job I do my yoga and my legs can take being in these positions. I'm fully set up, and now I'm just waiting for the owls to come out. I don't think they will yet, because it's actually quite cold. The sun is still in the mist. They like to sunbathe. I've seen them out sunbathing in this hole before. So I've just got to wait for the sun to come up and hope they come out and want to get warm. I know how they feel. Well, half an hour has gone and the sun is just about coming over the mist, so I'm sure that very soon something's going to happen. I've got to stay very still because there could be eyes upon me at any time. You never know who's watching you. It's okay to talk like this because it won't go beyond the bag hide, but I can't move at all. But do you know what? It's so nice being here. I've got skylarks calling above me. It feels really like spring has sprung, and all around, right now we've got doom and gloom. But I tell you what, sitting here at one with nature, it makes it all right in the world. That was very, very, very eventful. Excuse me while I fight my way out of here, which is sometimes easy, but to be honest, rarely elegant. It was amazing. First of all, the female came to the hole and looked out. The light was just perfect. And then, just as I thought, oh, it's brilliant, the male came behind. He's much shyer. He came and kind of sat against her. He was giving me these death looks all the time. Then the female went and flew off and sat in the tree, as she often does. The male went back inside. I gave it some time and waited. The female then went inside, and I've decided, you know what, that's enough. I'm going to leave. It was just absolutely fantastic. It was worth all of the cold, all of the effort of getting up early, and now I'm going to go back for a nice coffee and a veggie sausage sandwich. I can't wait. It's been a great morning, and it shows you how amazing little owls are. I absolutely love them, and I'm buzzing. So see you later.
Well, how lucky was that to find little owls right next to us? It's been frustrating ever since because it's been far too windy for them. They're very nocturnal at the moment, but we keep going up there in the hope of seeing them. But it was an absolutely brilliant experience. I want to tell you a little bit now about the kit I used because I didn't have a chance then. And after that, analyse some of the pictures for you. Now, of course, the first bit of kit, thank you, Sean, was the Mark III Olympus with the 300 f4, which becomes a 600. 600, look. Not going to get a strong lift in that, am I? It's fantastic. It's great quality, just amazing lens. I shot it in silent mode, which was brilliant. It means the owls didn't look at me at all. They were not looking at the noise. They were looking at the strange bag-shaped object. I don't want them to react to camera noise at all. And it's been so useful this year to shoot with silent mode on the camera. So many times I've got pictures when others haven't. It's brilliant. So great shout out there for a great Olympus system. Sean, you can look after that? Good man. On the top of the tripod, I used the new Flex Shooter Mini head. Again, mini, small, fantastic thing. It's going to be on our website when all this situation calms down. And finally, I know a few of you will ask me about this because you won't have seen this before. It's a bag hide. You would have seen big pop-up hides, and they're great if you want to have something over the course of a few days permanently and you're not worried about getting destroyed by the wind, which they can be. This is a bag hide, and it's fantastic. You can just throw it over yourself when the need arises. You might be out, like I'm not going to look for wrens right now, and if I manage to find a wren, I'm going to, singing maybe, I'm going to put this over myself. It makes you look a lot less threatening to the subject, and it'll help you get pictures. So bag hides are really, really good. You can scrunch them up, carry them around with you. All kinds of uses when you're out. It's fantastic. You can even use it as a pillow and fall asleep in the summer sun if we ever have any summer sun. And I would say stress, fall asleep in the summer sun in your garden right now. If you want to get one of these, you can have a look on my description below, and I've got a link to my Amazon web store where I've got a few of these that you can grab should the need arise, but you'll find them very, very useful. All right, that's the kit. Now I want to look at some pictures, and it's always good to look at pictures that you shot and analyze them. So I want to look at a few and talk you through them. So here we go. All right, let's start off with this little owl picture. There you go. That was taken at sunset. The numbers are ISO 800, f4, and it's actually, I think, an 800 to 1000 shutter speed, something like that. That part's irrelevant. It's the aperture that's relevant. f4 on the Olympus gives you f8. So it means even though I'm getting f4 and shooting at the high shutter speed advantages of having a low aperture, I'm actually getting a much bigger depth of field, which is what I want here, because I want to get everything in focus. All the bricks, all the stonework, all the wood, all the owl crap, everything that I can find here. Very simple picture. It's using the wood, the leading diagonals of the wood to lean up to the center of the frame. Nice of the owl to sit right in the dead center there. It's a very straight shot. It's looking straight at me. I did wonder about cutting it off and having a pure triangle into the corners, and I decided in the end I like the randomness and the angles and stuff of this barn. As you will see, this barn is incredibly old, and I really like to show little owls in this kind of setting. So it's a very, very straight picture. I'm not going to brighten the shadows. Why would you brighten the shadows in this kind of picture? I want the shadows to stay there because they frame the owl and they tell the story of sunset. If I start to brighten the shadows, it could be a daylight shot, if you like. White balance here was cloudy. I didn't want it to be purely red yet. It was probably about 20 minutes before sunset, so I don't kind of want that effect. So I put it on cloudy just to take it down just a little bit. All right, next one. There we go. This is a nice side angle looking up at the side of the barn with the owl looking directly at me. It was looking at me just because it was interesting, not looking at me because of sound, because again, I'm shooting completely silent. The numbers are the same. I keep everything the same. Why not? ISO 800, f4, and it's probably about another 800 to 1000th of a second. It gives a lovely drop off. I've focused on the owl. I've used 5 focus points. That's middle, north, south, east, west. Okay, I don't want to use a single is okay, but it's a bit fiddly when you're in the bag hide because I'm using the screen. So it's nicer just to have the 5 on. You could use 9 as well. As long as it covers the owl's face, that's all you care about. So I'm focused right on the owl. It's got a lovely drop off before and after, so it leads in. You don't want the bricks in focus before, and you don't want them in focus after. You want the owl to be framed a little bit. The light is coming from behind the owl, so I use -2/3 compensation just to take down the edge of the light there on the head, because it's kind of, it's lucky enough to have hair, which I'm not. You can't do a backlit picture of Andy Rouse. But you can of an owl, which is great. So nice picture there, and I've composed it to the left-hand side. So you can see it's on the left-hand side of the frame, looking across, so you get some of that nice brickwork. I really like that picture anyway. All right, next one. Okay, this is from the sunrise shoots, and this is the other side of the barn. How beautiful is that? And look, you can see the date as well. Wow, you can see the date of the barn. Now, I thought long and hard about how to crop these pictures. I'm going to show you a couple of others in a minute that are cropped very differently, but I think this one is quite special the way it's cropped because it's portrait mode. It's got the kind of the 2 verticals going up, and then it's got some space around it, so you can see absolutely everything that's going on. The owl is leaning in slightly and then looking out across the frame. So I've put him slightly on the right of the frame, but managed to keep the whole central feel of the thing. And I kind of like these pictures where they're showing this beautiful habitat. I kind of think, do you know what, I want to crop it in, and social media makes us crop in pictures because that's where you get your likes. Forget that, just do it for what you think. Do it for what is best for the picture. And certainly here it's best for the picture. I kept the numbers the same, okay? So ISO 800, f4, which is really f8. It's about an 800th of a second, and that is the natural light on cloudy white balance. If I'd have used shade, it would have been even more red. Didn't want it really that red, because otherwise it's a bit of a Martian desert effect. All right, next one. Okay, so this is virtually the same one, but cropped. And it's not cropped in camera, it's cropped on the Mac, okay, or PC, or other platforms are available if you're scientifically that way. It's cropped later on because every single picture that you take has 2 or 3 variations. It doesn't have just a variation that you choose. Maybe the landscape, maybe it will go nice as a portrait, maybe it will go as a window or a 16:9 or a circle or a square or something. You should always sit back and look at your pictures and think, I wonder what I could do with that. I wonder what the best crop is, rather than jumping in and just moving loads of sliders. Look at the composition first. Look at what you want the picture to say. Okay, here, it's a bit tight for me. I prefer the wider angle, but you can still see I've still got the verticals in the top right and left hand corners, which I like, and I've still got left some space around that central aperture, if you like, so you've got some of that lovely stonework in, which is absolutely gorgeous. Some people have said that it's Mickey Mouse style picture, which I like. The laptop's just gone on sleep, so I'll just redo that. There we go. I kind of like it with those kind of Mickey Mouse ears in the background, but what a unique setting. Okay, next one. Virtually the same, except there are 2 owls in it. Oh no, look at that. There are 2 owls. I'm talking with a high voice. I couldn't believe it when the second owl, well, just again, there's a robin sitting outside the door there. I couldn't believe it when a second owl came and sat behind. The first one was obviously the female, the boldest. The shyer one was the male that came behind. It's just amazing. I'm really glad that I shot it like this as well. I shot it wider. I gave it more space around it, more space to breathe. I got the two beams in really, really nicely. And I like the shyness of the owl at the back. As I said with the other ones, 5-point autofocus. Focus on the right-hand owl because it's the closest. You always focus on the closest element that you can. Bingo. I absolutely love this shot. I think it's one of the best little owl shots I've ever taken. It's certainly the nicest setting I've ever had. And what a great thing to achieve on our first week of lockdown. And all within 1 hour's exercise time and 5 minutes walk of where I am in complete isolation. It's just fantastic. I just love it and I can't stop looking at it on the screen, and that's the mark of a good picture. Well, once again, we're at the end of the show. I apologise for not bringing any questions and answers, but when we get to this kind of length, I just wanted to make sure you had a really good film and a really good analysis and something that's useful to you. I will get to the questions and answers. We need to have more. Please send me them below or to my email address that you'll see on the description there. So put them in a comment or whatever. And, you know, I want to put some picture critiques in. I want to critique some of your pictures in a positive way. It's the only way that you learn. I self-critique all the time. So if you want, I need to be able to see some. So yeah, send me some links or whatever, and I need your permission to put them on here. So I'll write to you separately, but please, this will only work if you interact with me. So let me know below what you think of the show. Please give me a like and a subscribe. Please be safe. Please stay at home or be within your local patch. Remember, 1 hour walk for exercise and all that kind of stuff. Be safe because people's lives depend on it. And remember, photography is great for your mental health. So you do need to go out and do something, even if you sit in your back door window and photograph the birds in your garden or anything. That's awesome. All right, until next time, see you for now. Bye-bye.